Hey, you mentioned just going there as a kid, and you've talked about it in the past, but I'm curious, what made that place so memorable? Because in the sense of, I don't think your dad had the best success there. So, from of a kid's point of view, if your dad's not running as well, what makes that so good, or what are the memories as a kid that make Martinsville so good for you?
Um, I think multiple things. Like I grew up, in High Point, so like 45 minutes away from there. So we went there a lot when I was younger. It was a place like we would always go to, twice a year as a family, just because it was easy to get to and you drive to it. And I just thought the racetrack was incredibly neat. And it reminded me of, it's a really small short track, and it reminded me, like, oh, okay, I can kind of relate to this because I'm running, legend cars and Bandoleros and even started my late model career, like, okay, I can kind of relate to this short track style of racing. And I just loved how the cars were so close together. Like, and you could see everything as a kid. We go sit in the stands and you could watch the whole racetrack. And, guys, there was always something going on, no matter where you looked. And I liked that as a kid. I enjoyed the noise of it as a kid, and the smells that were right there. And then I remember watching, I think it was 2011. Fans don't like it. I think Harvick passed Dale Jr. with like six to go, and I was sitting on my dad's pit box, and he was running for Baldwin at the time. And I remember watching that race. Our pit stall was like right off of turn four, and I remember watching the cars come off turn four, and that was the first time I like really understood and could watch them from the inside of the racetrack and really get a good picture of kind of how the cars looked and how they drove, and it just intrigued me as a kid. And yeah, so I think it was just a lot of relatability from what I was racing at the time. And I just loved how small the track was, and you could see every little bit of the racetrack, and you could walk around in the infield and go to different, parts of the track and see whatever you wanted to see. So, and it was just a close place. So that's kind of, I honestly named that as like my home track because I honestly grew up closer to Martinsville than I did to Charlotte, from High Point. And it's just, yeah, it's one of those things that just grab you as a kid, and you have these memories, these core memories when you were growing up.